as customers think about their HR bots, they start thinking about where does this bot live, right? How is it made available to their employees? And one of the most common places they want the bot to live is actually on their HR portals. So they simply want to basically say, you know, can I just go ahead and enable my bot to live within my employee portal, because I've already been directing my employees towards this particular employee portal, right? So I just want the bot to live there, right? So now within the employee portal, the bot can wake up. So imagine this was an employee portal on the left, whatever that is within your organization. The bot can basically wake up and introduce itself. As I said, you can have these bots be as chatty as you want them to be. So that is more of a design decision and question. And you can start interacting with them. So notice, you know, you can give it a name, by the way. So a lot of customers are actually thinking about giving their bots a name, like our buddy, you saw that as an example. Now we have a pre-built HR bot that you can take advantage of here. It comes with a set of capabilities that you can take advantage of on day one. It also comes with the associated training, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel on some very, very common functions and use cases that we've already been seeing within the HR space. And you can obviously wire this bot to your backend, whether it's Workday, whether it's SuccessFactors, whether it's whatever HR systems that you have on your side. And it supports a set of use cases and provides a set of conversation experience. As an example, I just said I woke up and I'm really sick today, I won't be coming into work, right? It now started a dialogue or a conversation. It obviously said, I'll let your supervisor know, so it is aware of the fact that who I am. Obviously, I'm logged into this portal, so it's aware of my information. It is also aware of who my manager is from the HR system, so that, you know, it can inform my manager. And it's also being proactive, right? Okay, you're sick. I recognize the fact that you've just said to me that you're sick. Well, that is okay. Now I need to, maybe I can use this to say, well, should I check in with you tomorrow, right? So I don't know how sick you are, but maybe I need to check in with you tomorrow as a way to see if you wanted to put in another sick leave, right? And if I say yes, of course, it'll now actually proactively wake up tomorrow and come and ask me, okay, how are you feeling? And, you know, would you like me to, you know, inform your manager you'll be coming into work, or maybe not, for example, right? So again, these experiences is something that, you know, we've taken the effort to define, so that you can actually provide the most optimal experience that you can provide. Now, if I want to try something else, for example, let's say if I say, what are the company observed holidays this year? And in this example, it's no longer maybe submitting a request. It's more about, hey, you know, tell me what the company observed holidays are. Now, this is more nuanced and complex, contextual than you would think, right? So obviously, it needs to know who I am. It has to know that I'm in a particular region. It has to take that into account, that I'm in the US region, for example. So it actually brings me information, you know, only about that, right? Versus if I was, let's say, a France employee, then it would bring me information about the company observed holidays in France. Similarly, now let's go into, for example, another example. Let's say if I say my wife is pregnant and I, let's say, need to understand, let's say the paternity, let's try that. Paternity leave policy, not just maternity leave policy, but paternity. And, you know, how much, let's say, paid leave, for example, you know, do we get, for example? So in this example, it'll actually, first of all, again, there's a lot of nuanced behavior here, right? Understanding the fact that you said your wife is pregnant. It extracts that information. That's a fact, basically, that it can use to drive the conversational behavior. You're asking for paternity policy, not just maternity policy, for example, right? And because maybe this is one of those questions where, you know, I can give you the standard policy, but I need to maybe connect you to the HR depending on your customized kind of need or behavior. Let me connect you to HR as well, right? So it'll again drive the behavior accordingly, right? Now, similarly, then maybe other contextual questions. So if I say, how do I, add a dependent to my health plan? Because of course, I just said I'm about to have a baby, so I might want to add that. I'm trying to figure out how do I add that as a dependent to my health plan. It is now not just addressing my question, but it's saying, would you like to add the dependent now, right? I mean, maybe you're about to have the baby, for example, or you already had the baby, whatever the case may be. Don't know when you're asking this question, so I can start addressing and maybe helping you add the dependent at this point in time. If I say something like, let's say, show me my benefits information, right? If I'm being kind of generic about it, it'll actually bring me all the benefits. So my health benefits, my dental benefits, my vision benefits, other benefits like that, for example, that my company might provide. Now, you could address that same question in a couple of different ways, right? If you say, well, benefits could be all kinds of things, right? If you consider, let's say, your 401k as a benefit, then maybe you want to have a more qualifying question about it and go from there. Now, notice that it also will be proactive. It says, well, you're in the enrollment period right now. Would you like me to go ahead and kind of get you started on this, right? And it'll allow you to basically be proactively trying to get you to finish some things that we want HR to finish, for example, right? Similarly, I could say we are buying maybe a house, and I am, for example, I need to maybe update my address. Okay, so in this example, it's more about, oh, okay, you gave me some factual information. We are buying a house. You gave me some additional information. I can use that information, and I can actually say, okay. So let's say I provide some sort of an address, and it'll obviously go ahead and update my address if I wanted to kind of finish that right now. Now let's take an example of, okay, for example, let's say I need to work from home, sometimes. What are the guidelines maybe, right? Or maybe policies, let's add that, about that, right? So, maybe I'm just trying to figure out, okay, sometimes I may want to work from home. I'm about to have a baby or whatever, fine. I want to know what does the company allow, right? So again, in this example, it's a question answer, right? So it's not trying to fulfill a request. It's not updating a backend system. It is simply going and checking against the policies that it already has access to, right? And coming back with the standard answer across all the employee base around, okay, what's allowed when it comes to working from home, right? Similarly, let's say, for example, I'm going to say I'm visiting a Japan office maybe, okay? What is the appropriate, let's say, dress code? So here, here's a good example of my current context is, let's say, US, because I'm a US-based employee, but I'm telling the bot I'm going to Japan. I need to understand how should I dress. There are dress code policies, but I wanted to know about Japan dress code policies, not US dress code policies. So it'll again pick up on all of that. It'll basically, allow you to understand that, okay, for Japan offices, here is the information about, how do you dress, for example, right? I'm going to say I'm actually traveling on business, okay? So I need, let's say, a visa letter, right? Now notice that I'm actually not being super specific, meaning I just said, I'm traveling to Japan. I need appropriate dress code information. Got it, right? Now I'm saying I need a visa letter. Let's say I'm going there next week, for example. And when do I come back? Maybe I come back on November 2nd. Okay. So, but notice it kept it in context. It actually says, oh, okay, you just asked me about visiting Japan, and then you said you needed a visa letter. So I'm suspecting that's where you're going and you need the visa letter for. So I can actually go ahead and create a draft visa letter for you that you can just simply download and go through the process of getting your fan visa, for example, right? So again, the bot has the ability to actually carry context. The bot has the ability to leverage that context and drive the entire conversational experience accordingly, okay? We can keep going through similar to this. We have a couple of hundred use cases probably within this bot. If you include all the request type of use cases as well as even this pure question answering use cases, you guys can actually take this bot and quickly adapt it and modify it for your requirements and quickly implement it and take it live for your employees right away. And that could be a good starting point for you to focus on.